Good morning, students. Today we are moving on second chapter, that is central problems of an economy. Fine. Here in this chapter we'll read about economic problem, what are the causes of those problems, what are the central problems of economic, and what to be produced, how to be produced, and for whom to be produced. Next is solutions of the economy. Then it is PPC, that is production possibility curve and central problem. Shifting of PPC, basic properties of PPC, concept of opportunity cost, and MOC, that is marginal opportunity cost. So let's begin the chapter. First is an economic problem. Wants of human beings are unlimited, but the means of satisfying these wants are scarce. It is impossible for an economy to produce everything for every individual because no economic possesses limited resources. This says that everything that is present in the nature, that is scarce. Why? Because each and everything is having alternative uses. We can't say that if we talk about water, we can't say water is just used for drinking. Like we can use it for ample of thing. So that is scarce, a thing which is having alternative uses and it is limited in the nature is called scarce. And because of this scarcity there is an economic problem, as nature is not having that much of resources to satisfy each and every human being. Fine. It becomes necessary for every economic, therefore, to make a choice regarding the effective use of the availability of resources. So it is up to the consumer that how he want to make the use of all the resources, being that how he is producing or using each and every resources for maximum satisfaction. For example, the economy has decided how much of the resources are to be used for the development of industry and how much for the development of the agriculture. The problem concerning the allocation of resources to different uses are economic problem. Now, here government has taken ample of steps for the production and for the development. So it is up to the government, like how and where government will invest. Fine, now we are moving on another, that what causes economic problem. So first of all, I told you that everything is scarce. There is unlimited thing which are having unlimited uses, alternative uses, and that is the problem, how to use and where to use for the proper and good satisfaction. So first economic problem is unlimited want. So we human being are never satisfied. If we are having one thing, we'll desire for the second as well. Unlimited wants. Human wants are unlimited. No man can satisfy all his wants fully. So we can't fulfill our wants. They'll be multiplying and multiplying. Wants of a member of the society cannot be satisfied at a given time. As a matter of fact, want of man can be have been increasing day by day. So we can't satisfy ourselves. If we are having mobile today, we'll think of another better innovated mobile. One day we'll having that, then we'll think about another upgraded model. So it is like we can't satisfy ourselves and we can't make ourselves quiet as well. Second is limited or scarce means. So everything, if we are having, like let's talk about water bottle. We can put water in it, we can put milk as well, juice, whatever liquid thing, and even sometimes we can put some solid thing as well, which can be poured into it. So it is up to us that how productively, how lucratively we are using that water bottle. So each and everything is having some uses, some not some, ample of uses, alternative uses. We talk about your mobile phone. Now see, I don't think that if you have ever had a thought that you'll being taught by mobiles. Fine, so what is this? So mobile is having another more use. Mobile is for gaming, for entertainment, for movies, for music. See, mobile is having so much of the uses. What is this? This is the scarce means. Your mobile phone is also a scarce means. Most of the goods and services satisfying human wants are limited or scarce. These goods are called scarce because their demand is greater, their supply is no matter what is the price. So let's talk about a television. In a home, in a normal home, we are having normally generally people are having one television. Like ample of people are there to watch it. So the person who will watch it as the having complete satisfaction from the television, mobile phone as well. So it is up to you that what you want to go with. You are having a mood of movie, you'll go with movie. You're having mood with music, you'll go with music. So in the music you're having a mood of movie, you'll stop the music and go with the movie. So everything present in the nature is scarce. Alternative uses, I have already explained you in the beginning of the chapter that each and every commodity is having alternative uses. Let's talk about milk. Milk is having ample of uses. We can make it tea, coffee, curd, cheese, whatever thing you want. We can even make curry with that milk as well. Fine, here is an example of cheese. We can make ice cream, rasgullas. We can make everything which is related to cheese. So we can't even, it is not like that we have to eat it like the raw form. We can make it as our demand. Fine. Since resources are limited, all wants cannot be satisfied. We can't say that if we are having 100 gram of cheese, we have to make rasgullas, or out of it we have to make chili cheese as well. We are thinking of ice cream as well. We are thinking of something else as well. So it is not possible for that 100 gram of cheese to go with all of your requirements. For that requirement, you have to go with another piece of the cheese. So this thing is the problem. It leads to the problem of choice, which one should be satisfied and which should not be. So this is the problem. Like if you're having a mood of watching movie, you'll go with movie. If you're having a mood of music, so you'll go with the music. But in a single moment, you'll go with both things. That is impossible, and that is the problem. Accordingly, the society has to decide what want to be satisfied first and which is later. Fine. Now, the central problems of an economy. What are the problems? Find central problem. Central means state, government. What to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. So here, every time government is developing for the development for, I'm sorry, here government is always thinking for the bridging the gap between rich and poor. So government is always thinking from the grassroots level to the higher level. So poor, rich or poor, developed or underdeveloped, every economy faces three central problems. Anybody living in this world is having these three problems: what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. If you want to know that everybody is having these such problems, go and ask your mother. She'll explain you how many times she faces these problems: what to cook, how to cook, and for whom to cook, like who will eat my food. So what to produce is having two dimensions: what to produce and how much to produce. And there is always a problem like what to make. Public is never satisfied with a single product. Like if we talk about a very common thing, that is Maggi noodles. So we can't say Maggi noodle is coming in a single flavor. We are having ample of Maggi flavors. Why? If we talk about Lay's, we talk about chips, they're having ample of flavors. Why? Because every person is having their own taste, or every person is having their own desire. So that is the problem. Like what to produce. First and foremost problem of every economy is what goods and services should be produced so as to satisfy the maximum wants of the people. Fine. So that is why these companies are coming with ample of flavors so that each and every age group can be targeted. First, the economy has to decide what goods and services are to produce. For instance, which of the consumer goods like sugar, clothes, wheat, ghee, etc. I'll give you an example of ghee. Like from ample of year, we are having that particular flavor of ghee. Nowadays, ghee is also coming in many flavors. Like we are having cumin ghee, we are having garlic ghee, we are having herbs ghee, we are having coriander ghee, not coriander, I'm sorry, oregano ghee. So what is this? Like people are fed up of eating that similar flavor of the ghee. Now ghee is coming also into the ample of flavors. Why? to satisfy wants of each and every human being. So are to be produced, of which the capital goods like machines, tractor, etc. are to be produced. Let's go with this thing again. The economy has to decide what goods and services are to be produced. So first economy is deciding what goods and services are to be produced. For instance, the consumer goods. Now what is the consumer goods? Consumer goods like sugar, cloth, wheat, ghee, etc. are to be produced, of which capital goods like machine, tractor, etc. are to be produced. So capital goods are those which are being produced by machines and tractors. Fine. Capital goods. What are the capital goods? Which are being produced by machines and tractors, etc. Where machinery is involved. That is called capital goods. So capital goods, machine, tractors, etc. Consumer goods, like a thing which is consumed like directly, like sugar, clothes, wheat, ghee, etc. which is not giving us that much of the earning. To be made between the production of wartime goods like rifle, guns, tanks, and peacetime like butter and bread. So it is up to the need of the hour. Like in the wartime, like now in corona time days, we are just thinking about medicines, sanitizers, masks, PPE kits. So what is this? This is like a wartime. We are just thinking about the remedial things which can protect us from the wartime. So in peacetime, we just think about butter or bread. We just think about the foods which can satisfy our wants. So right now we are thinking about the medicinal things which can protect us. Fine students, here you have to learn about two things: consumer goods or capital goods. Consumer goods, clothes, sugar, wheat, ghee, etc. Capital goods, which are being produced by machines and tractors, etc. where machinery is involved. When economy has taken a decision as to what goods and services are to be produced, then it has to be decided about its quantity, not quality. So when economy is decided like what to be produced, now again thing is about the quantity. How much to produce? Consumer goods and capital goods both. For instance, if an economy decides to produce more of clothes and wheat within given period, the limited means, then it will have to produce less of machinery. So it is like we have to maintain a balance between capital goods and consumer goods. If we're thinking about that we are going with the more of the consumer good, then we have to reduce capital goods, because we are just thinking about the curve that we'll discuss afterward. Fine. Just learn two things, like when the economy has decided what goods to be produced, now the thing is up to consumer good or capital goods. If we are going with the more of the capital goods, then we have to reduce the consumer goods. If we are going with the more of the consumer good, then we are reducing the capital goods. So both are the thing, vice versa thing. If one is going up, then another is going down. Second is how to produce. It's like choice of production, like how we are going to produce the product. This problem is concerned with the choice of technique of production. Fine. So here again we are having two techniques. First is labor intensive technique and second is capital intensive technique. Labor means we are involving people. Capital means we are involving machinery, money. So let's go on. We have to get an explanation from here. Labor intensive technique. Under this technique, labor is more than capital. So we are investing much in the people. We are involving people. Now if we talk about central problem, government generally invest in labor intensive technique because government is thinking about the development or welfare of the society. So for that, government will be thinking that it should give employment to all the unemployment people so that they can earn their bread and butter. And second is capital intensive technique. Under this technique, capital is used more than labor, and economy must decide as to which technique is to be used in given industry so that productivity is raised and cost is lowered. So if we talk about a capitalist thing, they'll think about that they just invest a minute money or minute capital and get a huge profit. So it is up to the government or economy, like what technique to be used. Fine. Labor is for the people, capital means money. So capital intensive technique comes under the uses of the capital. So I've told you that if we think about a central point of view, if we think about a government point of view, it will go with the labor because it wants the welfare of the society. But if we think about the industrialist point of view, he'll go with the capital because he just want to reduce the amount of money and earn a huge amount of profit. So now, for whom to produce? Fine, richer or poor. There are again two things. For whom to produce? If we talk about a richer thing, it will be very good. Very fine material is to be used. Like every good things are to be invested in that. If we talk about a poor, cheap things are going to be used because if we are not saying cheap means bad. So there is a difference. If we're thinking about rich, we are not thinking about the cost. If we're thinking about poor, then we have to concentrate on the price as well. Fine. So product for whom to produce are also coming with two things. First is richer or poorer. Fine. And if we're thinking about rich things, then we are not thinking about the price. There is no matter what price is going up or down, a rich will purchase it. If we're thinking about poor, then we have to look about the price as well because poor is having that limit of purchasing the things. He may not purchase a thing up to some level. Social justice is promoted for more goods or for more goods are produced for poor. Every time government is just thinking about the poorer section. Fine. Government is not thinking about to give those facilities to the richer section because they are having that facility that they can buy each and everything. Government is always concentrated with the poor. So government is going with not with the cheaper thing, the government is going with the price level. It would reduce inequality or promote quality. Fine. So why government is thinking for the poor? Because it want to remove that inequality gap by giving minute lesser level of the quality or by giving bit lower level of the quality. It will give the advantage to poor as well to buy those things. But there is a hidden cost for doing it. By producing goods for the poor, the profit of the producer would remain low. So there is always a problem for the producers because if we are thinking for the bit lower quality of the things, that means the producer is also getting the lesser quality of the profit. Fine. So low profit would mean low investment, implying low GDP growth. The economy would remain backward for a long time to come. Thus, there is a problem of choice. Social equality or GDP. Again, there is a problem. Like, what to be done? Like, if we bring up the social equality, if we domestic product growth. Fine now. We are moving for the solutions of the central problem. So students, central here means government. Solution for central problems in different economies. Market economy. Students, we have read in the previous chapter, we are having three types of markets. First is controlled, second is mixed, and third is free. So market economy is a free economy. It means that producers are free to decide what, how, and for whom to produce. On what basis do they take their decisions? If we are thinking about the free economy, like here, everything is into the hand of producer. They are thinking what, how, and for whom to produce. So now the problem is here that how to make a decision. Yes, it is on the basis of supply and demand forces in the market. Producer will choose to produce those goods the prices which are relatively high. Producers generally think about for the profit, so they'll think about the prices which are higher. So that their profit are maximized because they are interested in maximizing their profit. So if we are having free market, students, if we are having free economy, so then everything is in the hand of the producers. Everything is here in the hand of the producer. If we are having again central government, if we talk about center, so centrally planned means a government which is run by, an economy which is run by the government. Fine. In centrally planned economy, decisions are related to what to produce, how to produce, and how for whom to produce is taken by some central authorities appointed by the government of the country. All decisions are taken in the view of maximizing social welfare. Fine. So in centrally planned economy, government is just thinking about the welfare of the society. It's just thinking about the lower section. Mixed economy, here both merits and demerits are combined of market and central planned economies. Fine, free market economy and central planned economy decisions are regarding what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce are taken on the basis of the market forces as well on the basis of social concentration. Here, both things are being in the eye that what things are to be produced. The economy is free, and secondly, economy is controlled by the central as well, by the government as well. In certain areas of production, producers are free to take decisions with the view of maximizing profit, and in some areas, decisions are taken according to the concentration of the social welfare. For example, in India, producers are free to produce clothes or steel to maximize their profits, but railway are the monopoly of the government. Fine. Here in India, that we are having freedom as well, we are having some limitations as well, and some things are being looked after by the government. Now it's production possibility curve. Now what is that? Like we can say it PPC. PPC is a curve showing alternative production possibilities of two goods with the given resources and technique of production. So PPC is a curve showing alternative production, showing both things, two resources or two techniques of production. Fine, a curve which is showing two things is called production boundary or production frontier or production possibility curve. So the maximum possible production with the given resources. Here in PPC we see the maximum production. Fine. And we are having like three things here, like we are producing at the higher level and we are having given resources. Like, let me mark the things. First, that we have to go with the maximum possible production. Next is resources. Second is resources. Our resources are given. And third, our technology is also given. So here we are in PPC, we are thinking about the things or resources which we are going to show in the alternative production. We are having three things. Like first is maximize production, second is resources, and third is given technology. This curve is also called as transformation line or transformation curve because it indicates that if more goods, that is on x-axis, is to be produced, the factor of a production will have to be withdrawn from the production of y-axis. Like it says that if we are thinking about x, then we have to reduce the y-axis goods or production. If we are thinking about y, then we have to reduce the x-axis goods. Let me show you. See, this is the data of PPC curve. So this is our x and this is our y. So if we are thinking about x, then we are having 0. This is x and this is y. Our y is 15. Again our x is increased, that is 5. But our y decreased by 14. Again x is increased by 9. But y decreased by 12. Fine, you can see that here is an increase in x-axis. You can see here is an increase in x-axis and there is a decrease in y-axis. In PPC, we are just thinking about two things, that if x is going higher, then y is to lower. Fine. So this is the curve. Like if you can see properly, like the x is 0. So here as well, x is 0. Y is 15. So here y is 15. Again, x is 5. So x is 5. Here you can see there is a dot. And y is 14. So we can judge from this dot that is between 3 and 6. If x is 9, again here is the 9 and y is 12. So this is how the curve is being drawn. X is 12. Fine. And again it is on the 9. X is 14. It is between 12 and 15. Here it is. Fine. And it is on the 5. Here between. Again 0. Y is 0. And our x-axis is 15. So this is how you can draw your PPC. So two things are to be remembered, like if X is going higher, Y is decreasing, and if X is decreasing, then Y is increasing. Then only we can have a curve, either then we'll have something else. Where it is showing this PPC curve, and we are having wheat, that is our X. This is our X and this is our Y. It is 100. So here is the, let me mark it. Here is the 100 on 0. Then wheat is 90. It is 90 on 1. Here is the 1. Again 72, 43 and 0 on 4. So this is how you will draw the PPC curve. It should be in the curve form like this, the thing which we are seeing here and which you saw just a minute back. Now is attainable and unattainable combination of output. All the points of PPC or inside the PPC are attainable combinations or of output. So whatever thing which we are putting in the PPC, that are the attainable combination of output with the given resources and technology. So we are having resources and technology already. So we are having data in what we are having in PPC. In this PPC, we are having three things. Fine. One, we are having the data. We need not to do any changes in the data. Second, we are having the resources. We are having each and everything regarding to the resources. Third is the technology, which we can't change it. We just have to frame the graph. Thus, any point on the boundary line or within the boundary line of the production, the point shows that attainability of the combination. Fine. On the boundary line, everything which has been drawn, that shows the attainable combination of output of two goods. Any point outside the boundary line production shows unattainable combination of the output of two goods. A thing which is going out of the boundary line, which is unattainable. So we're moving from shifting or rotation of PPC. First is why this happens. First is change in resources. Resources are increased. If the resources are increased, we can produce more of the goods according to PPC to right shows. In this figure, you can see that the blue line is the given resources and green is the increased resources. Next is the resources are reduced. Again, blue is the given resources and green is the reduced resources. If resources are reduced, we can produce less of the goods. So it is according to the demand. Like if the demand is going up, we are going with the increased one. If demand is going down, then the things are going with the downwards. Now change in technology. Effective technology for the production of X goods. Like if we are producing X goods with some good technology, that means it is going up on the graph. Effective technology for the production of X goods would mean more production of X good with the same resources. Accordingly, PPC would rotate. No shift shown in AB and B1. So we'll just concentrate on the colors of the line. Blue is the given resources which has been with the same technology, but if we are using a good innovative technology, it is going bit higher. Again, we have to get a deal between X and Y axis. Next is effective technology for the production of Y. Effective technology for the production of Y would mean production of Y. Again, there is a change here. It is a change between X axis, and in the technology of Y, we'll have a change between Y. See, you can see that. So green is the Y line, and I'm sorry, not line. That is the green resources. So given technology is the blue line and green is the effective technology. Again, this is a vice versa thing. If X is growing, Y have to degrow, and if Y is growing, then X is to degrow. Now, effective technology of production of both X and Y. Earlier we discussed about individually X and Y. Now we are going with the both things. So this is given technology and effective technology of both X and Y. So effective technology for the production of goods X and Y both means greater production of the both, and Y with the same resources. So we have to manage it.